Welcome, everyone, to our deep dive into the life and the work of Leonard Cohen. He's probably best known for Hallelujah, but
Right.
Cohen's story
Yeah.
is way more complex and intriguing than just one single hit song.
That's for sure.
So prepare to be surprised as we uncover some fascinating details about this enigmatic artist.
It's true.
Okay,
His life is like a novel all by itself.
right.
Beginning with his upbringing in a pretty prominent Jewish family in Montreal,
Mm.
and his religious background, particularly the influence of his rabbi grandfather,
Oh, wow.
really had a profound impact on his worldview and his whole creative journey.
It's really interesting to think about how that early exposure to religious texts,
Right.
especially something like the Talmud, might have shaped his literary sensibilities.
Absolutely.
And we can't forget
Yeah.
his really early success as a poet,
Right.
winning awards while he was still a student at McGill University.
It's almost as if he was,
Yeah.
destined for a life of creative expression. And the publication of his first poetry collection, Let Us Compare Mythologies, which was mentored by his former professor, solidified his path as a writer.
Yeah, but Cohen,
Yeah,
he didn't just confine himself to poetry.
that's right.
He explored so many different creative avenues.
Yeah.
From attending law school to publishing poetry collections like Flowers for Hitler,
Right.
The Spice Box of Earth, and ultimately writing this incredibly controversial novel, Beautiful Losers.
Beautiful Losers is such a fascinating example of how Cohen really pushed boundaries. It's this complex work that explores themes of sexuality, spirituality, and identity
Right?
in a way that was considered
Yeah.
quite shocking at the time.
For sure.
So while it definitely generated some controversy,
Wow.
it also gained him a devoted following
Yeah.
and really cemented his reputation as this bold and unconventional writer.
Speaking of unconventional, he even won the Governor General's Award for Poetry,
Right.
but refused to accept it,
He did.
stating that the world is a callous place,
Yeah.
and he would take no gift from it.
Mm.
What a statement.
Yeah.
It seems like he had this really complex relationship with success
Yeah.
and recognition.
You see it throughout his career.
Yeah.
He was always driven by the creative process itself,
Right.
not by fame or accolades.
Yeah, and this desire to create on his own terms
Right.
led him to the Greek island of Hydra,
Hmm.
seeking a much more bohemian and less conventional lifestyle.
It's true.
Imagine a $1,500 house with no running water or electricity.
Right.
Quite a contrast to his upbringing.
Yeah.
Really paints a picture of a man seeking something much deeper than just material comfort.
That's right.
Right.
While Hydra may sound idyllic,
Uh-huh.
it's really important to remember that this
Yeah.
period was actually marked by some pretty significant financial struggles for Cohen.
Oh, really?
He had to rely on government grants
Wow.
and the income from his poetry to really make ends meet.
And it was during this time
Yeah.
that he surprisingly launched his music career
Right.
at the age of 32.
Pretty late.
Already an accomplished poet.
Yeah.
He was considered a late bloomer in the music industry.
There are even stories about agents questioning his age,
Oh, wow.
wondering if he was too old to break into the music scene.
Oh, gosh.
But John Hammond,
Yeah.
the legendary producer who signed Bob Dylan,
Right.
saw something really special in Cohen
Yeah.
and famously exclaimed, "Watch out, Dylan,"
Hmm.
during his first recording session.
What a testament to Cohen's raw talent.
Right.
That even at that stage in his life, he could make such an impression.
Yeah,
And his journey continued to evolve,
that's right.
leading him to seek even further spiritual exploration
Yeah, right.
at the Mount Baldy Zen Center.
His time at the Zen Center was a really profound period for him
Okay.
of self-discovery and spiritual growth.
Mm.
He dedicated himself to Rinzai Zen meditation
Oh, wow.
and developed this very close relationship with the Roshi, who became a truly significant figure in his life.
Okay.
Cohen even said Leonard Cohen wouldn't exist without the Roshi.
Wow.
The Roshi accepts everything I bring him.
Hmm.
My selfishness, my anger, my ambition, my sins.
It seems this spiritual dimension played a really vital role in shaping his perspective
Right.
and informing his creative output.
Absolutely.
And yet, despite this deep spirituality, he never married,
it's true.
claiming to be too frightened of the commitment.
Right.
However, he did father 2 children, Adam and Lorca.
His personal life definitely had its complexities.
Yeah.
But both of his children inherited his artistic inclinations.
Right.
Adam pursuing music and Lorca photography. There's even a connection to Rufus Wainwright through Lorca's daughter.
The twists and turns in Cohen's life never seem to end.
It's true.
Did you know he even made an appearance as a French secret agent in an episode of Miami Vice?
It really is a testament to his willingness to just embrace the unexpected.
Yeah.
And speaking of unexpected, consider his songwriting process. Yeah.
He initially wrote 80 verses for Hallelujah.
80 verses.
I know.
That's a dedication to the craft that most songwriters couldn't even fathom.
It's true.
And to think we only know a fraction of what he originally created.
Makes you wonder what other treasures might be hidden in his archives.
Yeah.
Rufus Wainwright, who has a unique connection to the Cohen family, has spoken about Leonard's dedication to family life.
Okay.
Describing him as a very loving grandfather who would often play the keyboard with his granddaughter.
This paints a much more personal picture of Cohen.
Yeah.
One that contrasts with that image of the brooding, enigmatic artist.
He was definitely full of contradictions,
Right.
embracing life's complexities.
Yeah.
Take, for example, his decision to start smoking again at 80.
Oh, wow.
After quitting for 30 years.
Gosh.
He even joked about eagerly anticipating that first cigarette.
It seems he never lost his sense of humor.
It's true.
Or his tendency to defy expectations.
That's right.
He was even really candid about his overpowering sexual appetite.
Which he claimed was only tamed by antidepressants.
Right.
And initially, he even mistook the effects of the medication for newfound self-control.
That's funny.
These anecdotes offer a really fascinating glimpse into the man behind the music, revealing this complex individual with such a unique perspective on life.
It's true.
But let's go back to his transition.
Okay.
From poetry to music.
Right.
His first novel, The Favorite Game, didn't achieve the same level of success as his poetry.
It had limited success,
Yeah.
especially in his native Canada, particularly in his native Canada.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It's really fascinating how just life's circumstances can really influence an artist's trajectory.
Yeah.
In Cohen's case, it was the reception of his second novel, Beautiful Losers, that kind of ultimately pushed him towards songwriting.
That's right. The financial strain following the book's release led him to really explore songwriting as a way to actually just make ends meet. He even mentioned in an interview that he was having difficulty paying his grocery bills at the time.
It's amazing to think that such a pivotal figure in music might have taken a completely different path.
Yeah.
If not for just financial necessity.
It's true.
But then enter Jennifer Warnes.
Right.
She was a crucial figure in revitalizing Cohen's music career.
Absolutely. Her 1986 album, Famous Blue Raincoat, which featured so many of Cohen's songs, played a significant role in bringing his music to a much wider audience.
It's a beautiful example of how artists can support and champion each other's work.
Absolutely.
What motivated Warnes to create this album?
Her motivation was really just pure admiration for Cohen's talent. She felt his songwriting was being overlooked, and she wanted to showcase his brilliance to the world. And her efforts definitely had an impact.
Yeah.
Famous Blue Raincoat really sparked this resurgence of interest in Cohen's music, led to many more covers of his songs, and this renewed appreciation for his artistry.
It's amazing how one album can just have such a ripple effect.
Right.
But the impact goes beyond just renewed interest.
Right.
It really solidified Cohen's status as a songwriter's songwriter.
Precisely, Famous Blue Raincoat really highlighted the depth and sophistication of his lyrics, drawing attention to his craft in a way that resonated with other musicians.
So from a young poet winning awards to controversial novelist, a late-blooming musician, a dedicated Zen practitioner.
It's true.
A man with a surprising sense of humor.
Right.
And even a brief stint as a TV secret agent.
It's quite a story.
Leonard Cohen truly embodied this multifaceted life.
And his creative evolution just never ceased. His later albums continued to explore themes of love lost spirituality and the human condition with the same honesty and vulnerability that marked all of his earlier work.
What's striking is how his music continues to resonate with these younger generations who are discovering his work for the first time.
It really makes you wonder, what is it about Cohen's work that transcends generations? Is it the poetic depth of his lyrics, the the haunting beauty of his melodies,
Right.
or maybe just his unflinching exploration of the entire human experience.
It's probably a combination of all of those elements.
Probably.
There's this timeless quality to his music that speaks to something so universal within us.
Right.
This longing for connection, a search for meaning, and an acceptance of life's joys and sorrows.
And his influence on other artists is just undeniable. From Nick Cave to Jeff Buckley, countless musicians have cited Cohen as a real source of inspiration for them.
It's safe to say that Leonard Cohen left this indelible mark on the world of music and literature.
Absolutely.
He was more than just a singer-songwriter or a poet.
That's right.
He was a philosopher, a seeker, a real keen observer of the human heart.
His work really invites us to contemplate life's complexities, to grapple with the really big questions.
Right.
And to find solace in our shared human experience.
And perhaps that's the key to his enduring appeal.
Yeah.
Cohen's music and writing offer us a space for reflection, like a sanctuary for the soul.
Yeah.
A reminder that we are not alone in our search for meaning and connection. So if you're at all interested in exploring the depth of human emotion and engaging with this really unique artistic voice, I highly recommend that you dive into the world of Leonard Cohen.
There's so much to discover.
Yeah.
From his early poetry collections to his later albums, his novels, even that appearance in Miami Vice.
Yeah, each piece offers a glimpse into his really multifaceted mind.
Absolutely.
And his unwavering exploration
of
what it means to be human.
You might even be surprised by what you find. A real depth of emotion, a beauty of language, a raw honesty that is both challenging and comforting.
And who knows, you might even find yourself humming hallelujah with this newfound appreciation for the man behind the music.
A man who, despite all his complexities and contradictions, ultimately reminds us of the power of vulnerability, the beauty of imperfection, and the enduring search for connection that unites us all.
Well, thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the life and work of Leonard Cohen.
It's been a pleasure.